the next stage of our journey, Matt, is to take a look at the league spreadsheet. Because we have the league spreadsheet here in our document. And now that I think we are feeling quite like this is it. So you can see there the 11.0 zone screenshots, which Aircarp. So this was compiled by Aircarp and has been...
It does.
Yeah, it's been compiled by Aircarp and is going around the internet. And this is the most amazing turbo powerful resource. Holy shit, you're a legend. Wow.
Remember when I talked about people in the community loving the video game to extreme lengths?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This
70 of them.
This is the leaks.
Sweet.
So what we can do is we can take a look at some of the more credible ones, but we can filter that down to only being the ones that fit with these new zone screenshots. And I think, yeah, if we do that, we can sort of, yeah, we can start to get fairly interesting. I suppose, right? If something,
so detailed.
If anything has Kaz Algar, but is before the Algarian Storm Rider, that's like an intro. Oh yeah, so here, yeah, here we've got the Agarand website leak, which of course is the other one that we brought up, which was posted on the 11th of this month. So that was posted like 16 days ago. The website Snapchat thing. Below. Row 38. Yeah, so that's what we just looked at then. Okay, so that's row 38. Let's see, what are you? What is Horizons? Okay, let's take a look at Horizons. This is all happening in and around the same time.
I trust this is not going to get us bumped.
Yeah, hopefully it's not some freshly caught prawns.
It would be really funny if this was all an effort to get us bumped. I would enjoy that. I'd be very upset, but I also think it would be hilarious.
Okay, so 10.2 is getting a big show as they round up the roadmap for Dragonflight. 10.2.5 will have new race class combos. Makes sense. If they were to do, say, like, more Drakthir stuff, that would make sense to me. 10.2.7 is the big fated patch. There is going to be a 3-boss raid with the actual final raid boss of the expansion, Tyr. Tyr isn't bad. It's a test of strength and a bit of celebratory raid. The first boss is Alex Traza. Not sure who the second boss is. You know what?
That would be really cool.
That would be odd, but it's pretty sweet, isn't it?
I don't.
That's insane, but I think it's awesome.
I do not believe it for a single second, but that would, and the reason I don't believe it is because that would go too hard.
Because it would be cool? It would go too hard?
It would go too hard, yeah. I don't trust them.
Hang on, though. You see when 10... Words, Michael, can you do them? You see when this happens, we'll all know what the next expansion is. Now, not to break any walls, but Tyr will know that we know what the next expansion is. That's because Tyr isn't real, and he's written by developers. And those developers know that whenever 10.2.7 happens.
Oh, my immersion!
Right? Oh, so hang on. What if Tyr is just like, I don't know, before our journey, let's have a big fight. It'll be fun. Come on. I don't know. I could do it. Okay, so this leads us directly into 11.0 when Tyr finally gives some answers on Titan Cosmic stuff. That makes a lot of sense. If you've been watching the lore videos that we've put out, like, Tyr is the guy who's going to know absolutely everything because he was responsible for a lot of the funky stuff. Right, with like the eggs and purifying the stuff, and he obviously will have had disagreements with Odin, as an example. So Tyr, he's going to be our lad. He sides with the dragons and the mortal races, entrusting us to know what's up. So basically, then this is Tyr. This would be Tyr. Pretty much undoing all of the like weird history stuff that Odin fiddled around with that we learned about in Uldaman. Okay. Expansion name has something to do with following the horizon. The name might be a synonym. Odin is our primary villain at the start of the expansion, looking to enact the Titan's will as things have gone too far off course. Titan device is key to recalling them and reordering the planet. That'd be kind of key, no? Now, if... it could be cool. It could be cool. Now, reordering the planet, that might be too much. But certainly if you want some, like, think about the cinematic of, like, Sargeras trying to do the big world stab.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People thought that was cool. Maybe there's, like, opportunity for some cool stuff here. Now, apparently, of course, trying to force the Titans to come back is what Iridikron said was kind of like his goal. Because he wants to force them back, and then he thinks he can totally clobber their asses. Iridikron and his crew are secondary antagonists that take center stage later on in the expansion, and they're also looking for the Titan device. The sigils. The sigils. The sigils! The oath stones! There has to be a gimmick. That's why this is true. Because there's a gimmick that doesn't need to exist. I mean, okay, it's fair that there's something on the other side of the world, but... yeah, whatever. Avalorn is the new continent. Khazalgar is the main city and zone where players hang out. Avalorn is located outside of storms that surround the known world. It's not just the other side of Azeroth.
That makes sense.
Makes sense with the whole storming sea thing. Now, what date was this posted? This was posted on the 12th. So that would have been after Aranithria came out.
I don't know, because time has no meaning to me anymore.
When did Aranithria come out? The Tragedy of Aranithria, 4th of October.
Ah, yes.
So, while this is plausible, it does have that book to go off. Kalimdor, when it was whole, was kept separate from the rest of the world. Tyr is able to calm the storms and open the path for us to follow Odin, who is following Iridikron's forces. There is a 3-way fight between Titan loyalists under Odin, Void servants under Iridikron, and Tyr and the player factions. So it's basically just the big, the colors on the chart are fighting each other, but we're actually the real people, and I suppose this could be a way for them to kind of say, screw the whole big cosmic-y cycle thing by kind of just having us fight for ourselves.
Yeah.
Which I think if you're going to do it some way, that's probably wise.
And specifically, that's the theme that they've been building up anyway, so it makes sense.
And Odin being a cock is a well-established thing. We did a lore video about it, like, oh my god, 2 years ago?
Pretty sure we did more than one.
Yeah, more than one. Do you remember the one John did all the blendering for?
Yep.
Yeah, it was that one.
Sure.
So we have a good lore video in Tyr.
Yeah.
Like the way that he treated Helya is like insane and fucked up. The way he's treated his dragons is also pretty bad. Yeah, Odin's big dickhead. Which makes sense. Him as a character being an arrogant twat sometimes.
Yeah, there's also that this is a good way to attempt to ground the cosmic stuff in factions that we get to see have more actual like ground time. And literal ground war stuff, as opposed to we're going to somewhere really weird. Blah 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 blah.
You can bring back Herja and the first boss. You can bring back some of those things from Legion in a way that people will find kind of fun. You know about like the Klaxi turn against us at the end of Siege
Odin was
War?
the first boss, by the way.
Huh?
Odin was the boss. No, it wasn't. It was the two people. I'm a dumbass. Yeah.
The two people?
Yeah.
What?
You're talking about Trial of Valor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the two fuckers. Can't remember their name. It was those.
Well, there's that point. It's a good one. Yes. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So is that okay?
No new class, but some will be getting support specs. That actually sounds credible because it does kind of feel like if
definitely.
Yeah, like if the only support spec is augmentation evoker, like you do have a bit of a problem there, game design wise. A big focus on character customization once again. Certainly Blizzard said that they would be, remember they said they'd be kind of waiting to do more of that in the future, and then the community really had an outcry at that, and then Blizzard were like, okay, we'll do it.
Well, here's something to think about on that specifically. How disappointing has a lot of the customization been in Dragonflight? There's been some great stuff. Absolutely great stuff.
Yeah, nothing big though.
But there's been stuff that's been pretty disappointing, like Blood Elf customizations for hair colors, Night Elf tattoos. Okay, well they'll do. They'll do, I guess, but they're also changed. There's an awful lot of stuff. It's like this isn't the big changes you'd expect. And even like the things like changing the eye like glint light thing broke. And stuff was breaking all over the place. Which implies that they're like the engineering time is going to be going for that customization wave in the next expansion, because that's when they get the engine push. That's when they get to really play around with all their attack and stuff instead of breaking stuff that's going live. So that makes complete sense for me. I imagine a lot of stuff coming through.
Here's interesting. And actually, if you've been here since the start of the stream, turns out this leak answers my questions, Matt. Player housing and world revamp will be addressed, but not expected for expansion launch. When they say they're talking about the future of Warcraft, they mean it. A bigger roadmap like Bungie gave when they announced multiple expansions for Destiny 2 will be shown, since those are features that play into a larger narrative.
That would make sense as a counter to this expansion looks kind of mid or kind of smaller in scope, or maybe even if it doesn't, it is the communication that'll at least put a lot of people's allay a lot of people's fears.
So this one, which is Horizons, which happened 15 days ago, I think that is fairly that's fairly legit.
Yeah, so we have something on that.
Oh.
And this is really funny. Well, first I'll say thanks for the super foreign, and thanks, Necker. We'll talk about that shortly. But Danny Hem says, this is 100% legit, comma, trust me, capital D. So there you go. Danny said it. True.
We got it?
Yeah, this is your next expansion, confirmed right now. There you go. It's a bit silly, but at the same time, that's the fun thing. People, that could be Ian's alt.
Could be Ian's alt.
Or it could be someone else entirely. Who knows? Yeah, capital D. That's it. Plot twist, Blizz uses the leaks to calibrate the next expansion towards needs. I would love for that to be true, because that'd be really funny. But I certainly don't think this.
So now we have the Storming Shores. But here's the thing about the Storming Shores, right?
Thanks, Clickliffe.
Storming Shores, 7th of October, 2023, which is just a few days. Because, we have here from the incredible notes, Avalorn, Titans, Light, Cosmology, Illuna here. Illuna here, it's that is so close to, to the books found in game that happened just before this leak was posted.
You don't say it was 4th of October was those books?
Yeah, the books came out the 4th. This
the
is the 7th.
Yeah.
Which is 3 days after the books.
Yeah.
So if you're a crafting league based on the books, this is exactly what you would make.
Or sorry, for some reason I thought you were suggesting the opposite.
Oh, no.
And I was like, have you lost your mind?
Yeah, so what they're saying is, and we'll see if it matches with other things. The Storming Shores, 6 new specs. A Bard Rogue, Earth Warder, oh my god, a Shaman Tank.
Let's go!
Shaman Tank, I'll take that. Chaos Demon Hunter, a support Demon Hunter. Spellbreaker Mage, support. Zealot Paladin, a range support using the light to strike enemies and inspire allies. And the Spirit Mender support using the powers of Chi-Ji with red mists.
This is the fakest shit I've ever seen in my life.
two renowned factions. Kingdom of Illuna here and the Tribes of Yoru. 6 races
Tribes of
from
Yoru, what?
renown. We got the Zhalgar, the Halflings, the Vrykul, the Dark Trolls, a bunch of new Jinyu, the Samir.
Talai Jinyu.
What is going on
Samir?
here?
Sure.
6 zones.
That's more than 4.
But here's the thing.
I choose to believe.
On the website, screenshot. How many little counter blips were there? 4. There's 4. Fake. Done.
That's why this is fake.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why this is fake.
Okay, well, let's see what the story is, Matt. Okay, this could be real. Odin leads an invasion force of Titanforged and other Order Light aligned factions. Scarlet Fanatics Light Forged Expedition. Xalatath, Iridikron, and Ashara combine forces to combat Odin and corrupt the roots of Illuna here to awaken Azeroth. Avalorn is caught in the middle. Thrall, Khadgar, Jaina, Tyrande, and the other heroes of Azeroth lead a ragtag expedition to try and save the soul of the world and find allies. Hence, Dreadlords led by Denathrius pulling the strings, leading to a much larger cosmic war with Azeroth as the battleground. There we go. Yep, nope. Bye.
No thanks.
Denied.
I'm okay.
Dropping Illuna here 3 days after we get a book that mentions Illuna here, it's too obvious. It's too trying to be obvious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's as far as the fanfic goes.
Yeah. True.
It's got some pretty unique what do you call it? Creative elements in there, but
it's like if
Furion wasn't in the list, it must be real.
Never mind.
Spot on him.
Okay, so there is one here. Wait, Beyond the Storming Sea?
Beyond.
Oh, which?
That one sounds good.
The Noble Aircarp The Noble Aircarp has given Beyond the Storming Sea a 3 out of 5 on the credibility score. Credibility of score, of course, is scientifically validated by time travelers in the future who know what's happening.
Yo, that's actually a smart idea.
Now, there is one problem. It mentions pirates.
Oh, it's over.
Mike, you banned. Level cap 75. No way.
No, it's over.
No way. Fake.
It's over.
3 additional talent spec points, 2 additional class points. I can see that. Everyone gets new talent nodes, slightly expanded trees. Can see that. All 3 monk specs are getting revamped in 11.0. Hunters are getting a relook. Augmentation is getting a serious rework. The team is still committed to a viable playstyle, but they recognize it's not worked out perfectly. I don't work in classes, but the folks working Augmentation Evoker are passionate about the spec and want to make it work. Shaman support spec in the works. Shaman for everybody. The work making druids more available to everybody. Won't be ready for 11.0. New renown tracks. We get, oh my god, this is definitely fake, Matt. 9 dungeons at launch.
A new raid?
Fake.
No.
Fake.
And Sanguine's getting taken out back? Well, I would hope so regardless.
Okay, so we got 6 Dragonflight size zones and 2 subcontinents. It's still going to be 1 landmass, but there are pretty important thematic differences between Khazalgar and Thasdun. Ybarra's tweet about no pirates was a bit tongue-in-cheek.
Spelled the bar wrong. It's fake. It's over.
Ybarra.
Yeah.
We definitely have pirates in the expansion, but it's not a focus. There will be a pirate island in 11.0. Plunder Isle's the dev name, but definitely not final. Adding a new subcontinent every patch, similar to Dragonflight. Okay, not super related. Fun side note. Chris hates what was done with Urel, and I think you're probably not going to see much for her in the future.
I am willing this out of existence right now.
Not that he's against the whole light isn't always good theme, but it feels like Urel was done disservice to her character.
That's true, but I am sending this. I'm using mind bullets to make this fake.
Now, Matt on this is a biased source.
I'm not biased at all. Not at all.
See, the problem is...
Not even slightly.
What happens when you love Urel so much that you're willing to take the destruction of her character just so that you can be stomped in the throat by her hoofs?
I plead the 5th.
And he's pleaded the 5th. There we go.
I plead the 5th.
Okay, do you think Chris Metzen would find out what they tried to do with Urel and not? I do not think he would like that. Based on the stories that Chris has seemingly always tried to tell, that doesn't feel as much like him. And this is, those developments happened after Chris was gone. In a Afrasiabi-led period. The great period of World of Warcraft that brought us so many delightful things.
Yeah. Magister, you can share your humble opinion at any time. This is a everyone gets to speak their piece zone. And Nera, go away. It's actually Mecha Pilot. Urel is my avatar, okay? But yes. That's different. That's from Here's the Storm. I don't imagine him writing that story, but I can imagine him seeing places to take it.
Or, hang on, Matt.
Hang on. I'm hanging on for dear life.
It's just from a Maghar perspective, bro. It's just Maghar perspective, bro. Those orcs are the bad ones. They're telling lies. They're telling lies about our great good lady.
I was instinctively about to say something that would actually get the stream taken down.
Do you know what it means, Matt? It's time for the second battle for Azeroth as we go and kill the Maghar orcs for saying bad things about the future Mother of the Light.
I know how to say it. Keep yourself safe right now.
What color is Lilith? Lilith's pretty pale. If only Lilith was blue. Basically what I'm saying is Lilith energy. Apparently it works everywhere.
That'd be different. I feel like Nathan's smart enough to be like, well, that was kind of not what I expected or wanted, and it kind of sucks, but we can figure out how to solve this, just because it's so clearly, obviously, and the orcs are the subjugated again, but from a different perspective. I think you can totally do that.
Yeah.
It's just that. There's ways to pull that through where the Draenei and the orcs can bind together under being the Lightbound and unbind themselves in some capacity. They can cast off the yoke of the light and recognize it for what it is as a different form of control. And I think that's completely there, right? I think you could totally do that. I can't imagine him getting like mad at that at all. Maybe if he was like super devout Christian or something, and he was like,
that angle. I don't think it would be that angle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only angle I could see. Whereas, like, how dare you? The light is great. We have never once in the video game Warcraft universe ever suggested that the light and its zealotry might be used for evil in any capacity. Scarlet Brotherhood. So it's like, yeah.
Dragon riding will be available within the first 2 hours, depending on playtesting. Also, we're going to stop calling it dragon riding after Dragonflight, and we're going to start calling it dynamic flying and static flying, which obviously they would say that in a leak because that's what the developers have already called it in some other instances. Yes, we're making the air in Avalorn more active. The World Dev team is doing cool things with dynamic weather and air currents, making the flying experience less about getting as high as you can and just gliding to your destination. It'll still be possible to do this, but they want a little bit more friction while you explore during your leveling process. Dynamic flying talents are still a thing, but they're getting a redesign. You'll be able to do some light specialization, similar to choice nodes, but with a few more options. World revamp, basically they say, yes, big undertaking, more info at BlizzCon. Okay, what do we think about Beyond the Storming Sea? Other than it obviously being sus because it's called Beyond the Storming Sea, and this has been mentioned one day after the Storming Sea, I think, had its first canonical mention.
I think...
Fact check me on that.
I think it's terrible and silly.
Terrible and silly?
I think it's just not at all what is going to happen in any capacity. There's some interesting parts of it, and I'm gonna look at this as a leak more than an expansion concept. A relook for hunter specs, not a revamp? Nah. Why would all 3 monk specs get revamped?
Wouldn't make sense.
Nah.
Well, because 3 people play them.
Yeah, like, sure, that's whatever. But the thing that gets me is an awful lot of typos. Getting the Barra's name wrong.
Yeah.
Now, maybe, like, I don't know what people are like, but I despise, especially names and nouns. Just type it right. If you work under Mike Ibarra, you're probably going to know how to spell his name.
Probably.
And if you're working on World of Warcraft or close enough to it, actually, yes, because he says, or they say, now that the books have been found on the PTR, I don't feel as bad talking about what we're doing for 11.0 implies they work on the game in some capacity. And look at how they spelled Avalorn. Avaloran. Avaloran. That's like
Avaloran.
That's like how you'd spell it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's just not it. Like, that ain't it at all.
It's probably not. So I'm going through some of the older ones.
I'm gonna have to look at that credibility score and say I think that's.
Oh,
yeah, not sure about your credibility score here.
Doesn't. Oh my god. Well, here we have World of Warcraft Eclipse 2.
What? Oh.
Actually,
I don't remember World of Warcraft's first Eclipse.
Gonna be real with y'all. I pulled this out of my ass.
So the poster came back and said they pulled it out of their ass, but it still is a 2.75. Or Carb, you're giving these people a credit, like, benefit of the doubt that I wouldn't be comfortable
What does it mean?
Yeah. Let's go check it out.
It does have ideas about. Okay, so it's kind of like it's bringing a loon into the same mix that we've already got with Avalorn, basically, in Khazalgar.
So loon, moon dwarves, lunar hoof torrent. Yes, okay.
And what about World of Warcraft?
Night Warrior Torrents.
Let's go way back.
Don't do this to me.
World of Warcraft Titanforge posted the 3rd of June 2023. The oldest leak on our document. New continent, Avalorn. Level cap 80. Storm riding is the new dragon riding. Not sure about that. Rune Master. Light-based faction that gives you light abilities. Void-based faction that gives you void abilities. The Path of the Titans is back. Big focus on established characters like BFA. Khazalgar is the zone playable at BlizzCon. That's pretty much it.
Solid no. Solid no, because light and void factions. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And also, Path of the Titans is back. No. What?
Path of the Titans got turned into
the artifact weapons. Yeah. Good attempt, back in 91. Good attempt, but no.
Have we
mostly?
Have we mostly mined things out?
Yeah. Content is running dry.
What's AOS?
On Strife.
Old World, Khazalgar, South Seas, multiple storylines. Well, that certainly doesn't sound like 4 zones and 8 dungeons.
Yeah, we have to remember it is 4 zones, 8 dungeons, no matter what. That's just what it's going to be. That's just what it's going to be.
Yep.
So don't see it happening any other way. Which is kind of Age of Sigmar, maybe. Yeah, a little bit of just Doom in a sense, where I don't expect anything super special. But there could be something super special, but I'm not going to expect it until they tell us. Like, there's going to be like, yeah, here we're doing something new. I'm like, sweet. But otherwise, no. Also, Rune Master, like, nah, I don't see Rune Master happening either. Just because it's any abilities that the Rune Master would have had are now very, very firmly split across Shaman, Death Knight, and Monk. So it's like, nah.
What's this? SOA is correct. First playtestable zone is a thick jungle with a lot of willow trees. Does that look like something we've heard before?
Pine trees in there in the jungle.
The person could be wrong. Dwarven buildings built into chasms reminiscent of ones in the
SOA
Grizzly Hills.
Which one am I at? SOA 4 or?
The most recent one. Spawn on the shoreline next to a dwarf earthen NPC. Massive sea serpent creatures in the sea off the coast.
Legends
beyond the
or?
spawn point. Lots of, yeah.
Which are we looking at?
SOA brackets 2.
2. You said the most recent one.
Oh, shit.
Fucking hell, Michael.
Not. Oh no. Oh yes. Okay. So which is SOA 2 is under SOA 5. It's row 10. Row 10.
What?
Row 10.
SOA 2.
Row 10. Row 10.
That's SOA 2.
There's another one. There's another one at row 10.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. Okay. So now chat have had a glimpse of how we actually just interacted off screen.
So we've got that. Are there any other SOAs?
Oh, there's 6 of them. There's 6 of them, Michael, believe it or not. Jesus.
Oh yes, and then of course we have SOA 6, which is labeled Storm over Azeroth. The past is never truly buried. Azeroth reimagined, world revamp, dynamic events, natural disasters, tornado. Great, it'll be like SimCity. Cool. Rebuilt capitals, sail the seas with player-controlled ships, craft your vessel, naval battles, explore uncharted waters, the elemental continent of Avalorn. This seems a bit big. Doesn't seem like 8 zones in a dungeon. Hang on a second. 8 zones in a dungeon, isn't it? That would be bad. That's it. Seethe, Mythic Plusers, the casuals have beaten you.
The real D4 leak said the WoW expansion was SOA. Spot the Spy says in their super.
What?
That's interesting.
So we need to bring all the SOAs up.
Is it just Storms over Avalorn?
Okay,
yeah.
So there was a real D4 leak?
Yes, I don't know if that's
okay.
Happened. Thanks for remembering Alaska.
If we were to assume that, okay, so let's go. So row 4, I think we know is bullshit. Oh my god, is he going to start sorting or filtering?
Here's our SOAs. Go away.
All right,
Shores of Avalorn. We've got.
Let's do Shores of Avalorn. Let's just work through them.
Oh my god.
So Shores of Avalorn. This one came out. Yes, this one came out on the 3rd of October. So that should be roughly like Erenithria, that kind of time period from PTR. Okay. New continent, Avalorn, Archipelago, 4 zones. Getting hot. Underwater sections for each. Shallow coral reefs. Half-sunken city and shipwreck graveyard. The very misty... Could be the very misty zone, but it doesn't really feel...
No.
Wave riding. A water version of dragon riding. Not... Heretic Titans, Old Gods, Storm Dwarves. I mean, that was always obvious. Merchant Guilds. Tortollan, Homeland Capital, Khazalgar.
What?
No!
So what? That's...
Yo!
Someone's smoking something fierce that day.
All right, so that one's dead. All right, what's our next SOA?
We already looked at SOA. Yeah, there's Secrets of Azeroth. Secrets of Azeroth / Avalorn. What? VM? What the fuck's VM?
World revamp. Zones and megazones. Renowned system taken to the next level. Okay, so yeah.
Mount Family's it's over.
Mount Family?
It's over. Game over. Mythic Plus coming to all those dungeons. Nope, goodbye. Goodbye. Nope. That's it. What'd you give that a 3 for? Jesus. You're so generous. You're so generous for that, man. Well, SOA 1, which is SOA 3. Okay.
Yes. All right. Oh, it's a long one. Spiritborn uses glaives. Insane.
Nahantu. Nahantu is a land of contrast from the restless canopies, verdant foliage to the barren expanse of the Teganze ChatGPT. ChatGPT to the field of ChatGPT, a place of lingering AI and the dark depths of the no one bothered to write this. Each location presents some shit that some AI made up somewhere.
Oh, this is the
and
most
for the
fucking ChatGPT thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one down.
Oh, here's the people saying this is the Diablo, like, with the name.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. It is.
Where?
Akarat. Yeah, my brain's not right.
But.
Yeah.
Okay. Akarat, been in Diablo for a long time. You could guess that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I believe Luke said earlier something along the lines of...
Wasn't Akarat Datamind?
I think so. He said, which obviously people know that. He said it was riffing off news that wasn't widely known at the time. Data mining or something.
So this
else.
was.
Yeah.
Then someone in the business of making leaks would probably be one of the first to know.
Next WoW expansion's old revamp title is SOA. So that's the one that says the next revamp title is SOA.
Oh.
So that's not actually an SOA. That's saying it's SOA. I'm so confused.
Oh, wait. So, right. No, everything else in there was talking about Diablo.
Yes, that was all Diablo.
Never mind. I was very stupid and confused.
Yeah, so was I. So everyone says read the next one. Storms of Avalorn. Level cap 80. Algarian. Tall dwarves made of stone but of colour.
Oh, yeah. The Algaran Storm Rider.
Well, it's Algarian.
Algarian. Yeah.
4 zones.
4 zones. Jungle, desert, snowy peaks, rocky peaks. Shit.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
Or the same person.
Yeah. Kazalgar. That person's went to a lot of effort. Okay. Kazalgar, capital city, partially underground. Cool. Like Ironforge, if half was above ground, that would be sick.
Spot the Spy says Horn of Nahantu was put on D4 PTR after this leak. Sweet.
So this is it.
Yeah. Well, Luke says he thinks the news dropped, someone made the leak, and then Wowhead was delayed in covering that news. So it's...
As Zach...
But at this point, Luke saying something, Spot the Spy is saying something different.
As Zach Baggins / Bacons would say, this is compelling evidence.
It is, yeah.
This is compelling evidence. Brought to us by renowned experts in the field.
That's us, yeah. That's them.
I was going for Luke as a renowned expert in the field. We're not in the field. We're in a fucking seat.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
He is in a seat in his room, but for this analogy, it counts as the field. Anyway.
Watching you two read shitty forum posts is way more fun than one would expect. Sinmad, everything is content if you're brave enough.
No new specs, some specs turned into supports. Oh my god, they're going... Woo!
Sorry, Holy Paladins, you're gone.
Lightbound Titan Keepers.
This
Storm
sucks. Oh my god, please don't be real.
Yeah, but Jungle, Desert, Snowy Peaks, Rocky Peaks.
Storm Dreadlords.
Dreadlords.
Kill me, please.
That could be okay. Saw what looked like a boat piloted by a player character. We're back. 4 zones, 8 dungeons, 1 boat. Image of Silver Moon, a harbor, and a lot of Nightborn aesthetics around it as well. Oh my god.
Cobra, that's how I end my days anyway. So
Gilneas repaired with Night Elf aesthetics around and a harbor where the Worgen starting zone is.
That would be kind of neat.
And
also, the news mentioned about Gilneas being shown in game repaired and stuff, and Night Elf aesthetics working. That would be good too. So yeah.
Okay, what's our next post?
I
wrote fast on my lunch break to clarify some things. I saw only some slides and pamphlets. Algaran looked cool. Lots of rocky protrusions on their shoulders. Back looks customizable. Lightning beards, like Dark Irons have lava beards. That does seem like something they would do. They are still smaller than orcs, but a head or so taller than dwarves. Their hair is real hair and not rock-shaped like hair. Zones look great, only saw concept art. Kazalgar being partially underground is more like a giant cave with part coming out. Lightbound Titan Keeper, meaning a very holy looking infused thing that looked like a Titan Keeper to me, doesn't mean it was one. Heretics. Heretics
could make sense.
split in the past. You could see that. Very elemental looking Dreadlord. Could have just used the skeleton, but it looked pretty Dreadlordy to me.
I don't want Dreadlords anywhere near this.
Dragons with fur, antenna, and moth wings. Looked very different than what I saw. One being cloned by a Drakthir in a Visage form in a mage gear set. Also saw Drakthir Shaman in the support spec image, as well as what looked like a dwarf in druid-like gear and an Algaran priest. Looks like priests can have angel wings and hover around a bit like evokers, but maybe that's already in-game because I don't play priest. Boat looked like a massive mount. It had a night elf at the wheel and a bunch of alliance races running around its deck. Silvermoon had a big statue of Lorthamar and Thalyssra at the harbour and lots of ships, including high elven and human ones. Gilneans had night elf aesthetics in one shot, but I think it's more a night elf district than the whole city. There's also a Drust Kaltiran district. Gan gets a new human model with a fancier coat. Mia still in her pixelated dress.
A Drust Kaltiran district in Gilnes. That is so out there that
Maybe
I
not.
almost believe it.
Yeah, maybe not district, but you could see.
Yeah, we're not going to say. Well, I am assuming by Drust they mean what was the name of the druids? The
Wicker
the Wicker Druid
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it doesn't
makes
actually
sense.
need to be Drust. It's just the Wicker Druids, that group. Are
Yeah.
there any more boasts?
Not on this, no.
No.
Which I could believe this.
I could believe this.
I definitely. It's very interesting that the 4 zones match up really well
Yeah.
because there's no way.
Now, a light-bound Titan Keeper. So what is this heretic thing?
Thorn Speakers. You're right. Yes, that's the word. Yes.
What is this heretic thing? Because we know that... and that would match a heretic.
Yeah. So there's some of these parts that seem a little bit out there. Like the Lightbound Timekeepers, it's not to say it's impossible, it's just a little bit more, we need to see how that comes about. It would make sense, but they have to make it make sense. They've got the constituent parts, we just have to see how that actually goes. Same with the Storm Dreadlord, same with like Silvermoon being like upgraded with the Nightborn stuff, same with Gilneas being repaired and things like that. And that'll be interesting because having that happen would imply that there's a decent bit of a time skip between the end of this expansion and the next, or
Standard
at least
2 years.
or at least a lot of, because it needs to be stuff in game, which means we're going to have either post Dragonflight or pre SOA stuff that pushes the story forward that way, because we said we'd see it in game. So there's a little bit of that. The boat kind of throws me off a little bit just because it seems unusual, but at the same time, it could just be a mount. They just go, he's a big boat mount. Have at it. Have at it for you, like whatever billionaire players, or sell it for $200 on the store.
This is somebody saying they just saw a few flyers. I'm assuming that, so the position of this person is perhaps not that they're a Blizzard employee.
Yeah, it's someone in like a media agency or
interning
at a media agency or something like that.
If they were quickly talking about seeing similar things to what we just saw with the zone screenshots and the website that those line up with.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, this is clearly either, well, when was this posted? Let me just check. SOA 4 was posted October 18th. So there is, that's not it. There is no way that I could see someone making all of the leaks we've seen that also match up within 9 days. Less than 9 days because it was this week. That would be completely insane.
Yeah.
Because where was it the Agrand website leak? When was that? That was October 11th. So that was before this came out.
Yeah.
And the website leak didn't have all 4 zones, right? It didn't. But it matches the one that's later. So either it's the same person or these 3 are the things that confirm it all to be real. That's the only 2 possibilities here.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 possibilities.
Are there? No, we've went through all the SOAs now, haven't we?
Not the last one, I think. Did we? No, is this what it is one? That's way thick jungle. Oh yeah, it's just the willow tree.
Yeah,
one.
we've talked about that.
Which
one.
could just be someone saying willow tree's wrong. Or
There's another one here, Shores of Avalor and Archipelago. Oh wait, no. We've already went through that. Yes,
and the last one was
Kaz Algar, the Tortolan city.
Yeah, we've been through all of the SOAs, which we seem to believe that SOA is there, which means that if now obviously we haven't gone through all these, but stop doing this mess.
SOA does seem.
Yeah. So there's the most believable things. This is literally it. Literally the most believable 3 according to Urcarp are the ones that I think have all of the lineup that makes sense. Obviously, it could be a very big psyop. It could be someone being very, very, very good at putting this like 3 different parts together, and they've been working on it for a while.
And doing it is possible.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Like, it is a very possible amount of work. It's just not what people usually do for this sort of thing.
Yeah. Not to say, there can't be outliers.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
So I have to operate on the assumption that this is it for now. Given no alternative evidence,
There we go.
I have to operate on the assumption. Which does bring us to something very disappointing,
Oh,
which is what everyone in chat is currently saying. Mediocre. Mid. You guys aren't super happy with this concept. So you're not.
okay. I think the fundamental idea of, something happens in Avalorn, people were broadly expecting.
Yeah, people were broadly expecting and reasonably happy enough with that. But there's a lot of people like, you know what? Let's just do the right thing. Start a poll.
Let's do the poll, yes.
What was it called? It was SOA, but what was it actually?
Shores of Avalorn.
Storms
of Avalorn. Secrets of Avalorn.
Storms of Avalorn, right? Storms of Avalorn.
Thing is that we don't know what's going to take us there.
Yeah,
We
but
don't really know what the inciting thing is.
yeah, well, that doesn't matter because we don't know it and we can't know it.
Yeah, well, true.
So
true.
you have to.
I've pointed out the obvious.
Yeah, so I guess is the point, right? You have to operate on this, which is there's a lot missing from our understanding and our knowledge that could be substantially better. There could be some really strong inciting event or incident, or the actual push that is okay. Odin shows up and he's a real bell end, and Tyr tells us some crazy stuff that actually fixes out a little bit. So there could be a huge amount of great stuff there. There could be big features that they're keeping a super close lid on, super tight lid on.
Hang on, what was the leak that was talking about this being announced in a broader context of showing this future roadmap like what Bungie did?
Wasn't a part of these 3, so
Wasn't a part of these 3, but did it line up with these 3?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think it had a lot different to it.
Balls.
Yeah.
Because if they do that, then this is something that people are going to feel a bit better about. Because right now, I have a feeling that anything other than World Revamp is going to be filed under I don't care if it is following lore that's been developed recently.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if people knew there was a World Revamp coming, then this would be more okay. Because the thing I feel like that people are actually wanting is a sense of long-term faith, stability, dependability. They kind of want to know it's going to go the distance. And I think anything other than that proper return home is very much not going to be, not going to be that. Now, tonally, this doesn't seem like a Dragonflight. I don't know. I mean, we can't say at this stage, but
it feels
think about
like anything you want it to be.
So, but if it is going to be,
it can put on any costume you want.
Is this one of the 3 ways?
What?
Is this a 3-way expansion between Odin and boys, or Rittergron and boys, Tyr and boys?
No, so this is the complicated part. We've seen so many leaks that you're blending ideas through.
That's the problem, yeah.
And that's the thing where any single bit of information that goes against Storms of Avalorn being the title and the Agaran stuff and the 4 zones is immediately discounted based on this theory we're building, which seems like the biggest theory. And this is why being a detective is pretty hard. This is why I love watching Columbo, because it's an amazing show, which is a weird lore drop. I love it to pieces, but that's just that
70% mid.
you kind of have to throw everything that
69.
we've read today outside of those 3 in the bin, realistically, and that's kind of the problem. So yeah, with 320
It's all
votes and
over.
counting, a lot of people are thinking Storms of Avalorn, as it is shown, is mid. And remember, this is without features. So for anyone watching after the fact, this is like, or even after the announcement, people are suggesting this is mid because we're just like, okay, well, there's just a load of zones. There's 4 zones and a new neutral race that we haven't heard about, which is something they've always done, right?
Yeah.
They've always went, here's a new race. The Lightforged Dragonite were like a dropkick, as were the Void Elves. They were fresh. There's some stuff that weren't completely out of nowhere, but like the Pandaren, the Drakthir. Pandaren, not completely out of nowhere, but as far as World of Warcraft cultural heritage goes, or at least cultural awareness at the time, was kind of fresh. So this is an awkward case of, yeah, they're putting not their worst foot forward, but they're putting a bad foot forward aesthetically and in exciting wise, or like in excitement, in the sense of excitement. For what we've seen.
Boat could do something.
And that's where we get into
just
features.
Going to have a player boat. That player boat's going to tie into features. There's going to be some level, I assume, of upgradability or, something you're doing with this boat. Thinking about how they usually develop their features, I don't know. I feel like they're not just going to make a boat and say, hey, instead of a taxi, you go between these places in a boat.
They did that.
Huh.
In Bifa. The Battle for Azeroth, there was a taxi boat. It was a rowboat, like it wasn't a boat, but
not a player feature, like sailable player boat. There's no way the sailable player boat will just be used in lieu of that old style loading screen. No way. So if that sailing boat's going to be there, then there's going to be some form of, I don't know, island or something that you can do in that boat.
Boat garrison, let's go. Yeah, boat garrison, that's it, absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to do a boat for no reason. Like the boat's going to have to do something.
No. You could just have a big boat. You could have a big boat mount. You could have the Grand Expedition Yak or the Burdosaur.
Not a feature though. That's not a feature.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing suggesting the boat's a feature. This person just said there's a boat in it.
Okay, true.
You're reading too hard, Michael.
Yeah, maybe I am.
You're getting too excited. So that's where it does get to the question of course you think it's mid because you don't know what's in it yet.
The one that I mentioned there,
Horizon,
was called Horizons.
Yes.
Which is not SOA.
Yes, which means it's not in the game. Or it's not part of the theory we're building.
It's not part of the theory. The expansion name has something to do with following the horizon. The name might be a synonym. So this isn't actually saying it's called Horizons. I'm not sure. It's weird because this one does quite line up with the SOAs that we've seen, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
But lots of them do.
It doesn't. The only reason you're saying that, and I actually
clashes?
I'm getting pretty insane in this, is it's not that things clash. It's that you're not seeing a clash. You're basically not getting any negatives. So you're assuming a false positive.
True.
In that sense. You're going, well, none of this, basically copium.
Well, essentially, it's that this all it all fits, but in the same way that multiple leaks or fake leaks fit. And
here's the other thing, where's this person? Okay, this is through the Irving grapevine. So we kind of go, well, why did this person hear that, and the other person who leaked it didn't hear any of this? How do you get two entirely separate chunks of knowledge leaked? And that's the part that's I'm not talking to you, Siri. And that's the part that's a little bit interesting, because I'm assuming the Titans or some capacity would have been mentioned there. But at the same time, I could see the desire for this, because I definitely want this raid. I definitely want the 3-boss raid with the final with us fighting dragons and Tyr. That would be super, super, super sick.
Someone I know just start DMing me on a sock puppet, please.
Hang on, did we not get another super that I thought was hilarious?
Oh,
Where was it? Or was it recanted, or am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure someone's super literally just a smiley face. And I was like, I see.
a smiley face.
I see. There's nothing I love more than when someone goes, here's a vague message. And it could mean anything or nothing. I love that. But yeah. Yeah. So there was that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I actually don't know. Yeah, I'll end that poll actually. So we're in an interesting spot.
We're
storms.
We are. I think that the way that you achieve buy-in is the way that you achieve buy-in is how it sort of feels when it's presented to you. This is kind of like little tidbits out of context.
Yeah, which means people fill their own context in and doesn't.
Yeah, which is naturally going to skew negative because that is the predominant skew outside of active players. I think what will be interesting is whether they pull a Bungie or not.
Clarify?
Pulling a Bungie as in talking about like their roadmap.
Okay, right.
I forget when it was, but Bungie announced like kind of multiple expansions. I think they were very much going on hey everyone, we have a plan, we know what we're doing.
I would, because
I'd imagine
not a Blizzard move.
It's not a Blizzard move, but these are not normal Blizzard times.
Exactly.
And to a degree, which now means the unexpected is expected, as VJME said, expect the unexpectable. It would make sense to bulk out people's longer term, faith in the game. If they're reading the room, then this will be the time to do it differently.
And it would doubly work with the acquisition confirmed, and then be able to talk about, hello everyone, we blah, 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 and all of the good things will happen from Xbox ownership, Microsoft ownership, and consolidation in the gaming industry is nothing to worry about. Please shut up. Please shut up and get excited for the next product.